Hello everyone, Alistair Gold here. That was a strange game. But somehow, we're going to be talking about a 6-2 victory. I still can't get my head around exactly what happened. It was a weird evening, a weird match, but plenty of cool stuff to talk about as well. Yeah, and until Sonny came along and essentially... Sonny definitely was the star of the show, let's put it that way. I think the game probably started to change at half-time. For the second half. But Sonny definitely came on and just ensured it was going nowhere else but Tottenham's favour. He really... I think I've said this before. I want players to grab games. These top world-class players to grab games by the scruff of the neck. And that was what Sonny did. He came on and just dragged the whole game and took it with him. And yeah, 6-2 scoreline. It's just mad. It's utterly mad. Honestly, I think the thing with Sonny, I've said this a million times before, but when you start to doubt him, that's when he's at his most dangerous. I always feel that. Of course he lost a bit of confidence. Was the Golden Boot winner, so I think there's more focus on him now. There's more attention on him, not only from opposition teams, but everyone's watching him. I was speaking to some chap in the queue waiting for the plane back from Lisbon, and he made a really good point as well. I don't think he ever told me his name. I can't remember now. But he said about, had it just been a summer as well where the focus had really been on him, not only because of the Golden Boot stuff, but they did that big tour with South Korea as well, and it just stoked up a real kind of, I guess, Son mania. And then maybe it just put a lot more pressure on his shoulders, and I just think everything worked perfectly on Saturday for him. It did. I just loved the way it happened. I did. I think I tweeted something like, it was perfect. If someone could have written the script for Saturday's match for Sonny, that was it. It just came on wanting to prove a point. He looked sharp straight away as soon as he came on. And, the way he took that goal, it was like all the lost confidence he had, it's like it just like restored into him, like someone had flipped a switch in him. Bentancur obviously winning the ball, played it into him, and he ran on. He went this way, that way. And then right at the end, just curled. It was like a trademark. I think Sonny's trademark is being able to curl with either foot, and this one was beautiful. Right foot. Wouldn't even say it was... I wrote at the time it was top right corner, but when you kind of watch it back, he actually kind of curled it around the keeper and almost away from the corner. Not central, but just wasn't quite in the corner. It was just that good. It curled around the keeper. So that was superb. And then I just loved it. I looked down at the touchline as well, and even Perisic, who'd come off about 20 minutes before, he was kind of, as he saw Son going up the pitch, he kind of started to advance out of the dugout and like almost kind of came across behind Conte into the technical area. And he was still wearing his white shirt, as well. It was quite noticeable. He hadn't... Normally they put on some kind of jacket or something. But he was like wandering forward, and you just see him put his arms aloft kind of thing as Sonny scores the goal. He just knew exactly what was going to happen. You could just see he sensed it. Like full kit kind of going out there as well. And it was, for me... He scored a lot of fantastic goals, Sonny, but I think that might be up there as one of his best. Obviously, it's not the best because, remember the goal against Burnley was incredible, the goal against Chelsea was incredible. He scored some incredible goals. But I just think, in terms of the timing of it, when some people were doubting him, social media mainly, which we know is not the barometer at all of judging anyone, because it's a place of hysteria. But I just think in terms of the moment he was rotated out of the team, it was probably only ever going to seen as being dropped because of the noise around him from the media as well. I think to come back and score a goal of that top level quality just said everything about the man, and it was superb. And you know what? The second goal was almost as beautiful to watch, pretty much. It was Kane, wasn't it? Kane took the ball, played it across the pitch to him, and danced inside a bit, Sonny, and just the way he catches it, when he curls it, it was beautiful. Left foot, straight into the corner, just kind of inside the left-hand post. Almost as good for me, that goal. Just the execution, the technical quality required to do it was something special. And do you know what I found fascinating was, like, the first goal, he just stood there. He was like proper angry looking. Second one, he kind of ran, I think, and put his fingers to his lips and kind of like shushing everyone that criticised him. And I like that. I like that. I want play. I think Conte kind of even said it in the days before. He said he's angry. You know, he is angry at everything, and I like that. Look, his words after the game were more, I felt, very humble and very quite emotional and really well said. But I kind of like the fact that in the game, he was peed off. He was properly making his point, I think, to the fans as well. I think, you know, he definitely said afterwards, obviously got a lot of support as well. And when he did his warm-up during the game, he got a lot of love down the touchline from the Spurs fans. They really, really let him know what they thought of him. And actually, when they read out his name before the game, I remember that now as well, it was a big cheer when his name was read out. And, you know, that wasn't people cheering that he wasn't in the team or anything. That was properly support for him. But I just felt it just kind of felt he needed to get that out of him. And he's a guy that I think you sometimes don't realise that about Sonny, because he's such a nice guy, such a smiley, happy, popular guy. He's got not a nasty streak, but he's got a tough streak, and he can get angry and he can let his emotions show. You know, we've seen that a few times on the pitch. And his words, here are his words after the game, because I thought they were really interesting. And it was just, I think he mentioned it as well. It's just getting that anger out of his system on the pitch. I'm trying to think who he said. I think it was his interview with Spurs Play. I think it was to Milesy and Ben he spoke. Was it Milesy and Ben? It might have been Ben and was it Rob? I'm trying to remember the other chap that does Spurs Play as well. So this is Sonny. All the frustration, all the negative feeling in my head, in my body, it just went through me. I couldn't move. I just looked up at the stands and thought, I'm out of this tough tunnel. To be honest, I was a bit emotional because it had been a tough moment for me. And yeah, I had his, I had a really, I've got it down there. Got some not even nicer quotes actually than those about how he felt he'd let his players down. But I don't mind that at all. I don't mind angry Sonny. I think angry Sonny is a Sonny with a point to prove. And his third goal, you know, again, good work from, I think it was Basuma. Then he played Bentancur away. Højbjerg away. Højbjerg plays in Sonny. Sonny knocks it under the keeper, bounces into net. We had that moment where the linesman put his flag up, the assistant put his flag up. VAR checked it, and we were kind of looking at it on our monitors that we had, and we were like, do you know what? It's going to be tight. I think that might even be on. And then suddenly, there you go. Gets his hat-trick, and I can't remember, someone, it might have been Dyak, ran over and lifted him in the air. And I quite like that because VAR has kind of not killed celebrations, but made them incredibly awkward at times. You know, you've got some people, like we saw Richarlison, whip his shirt off and then not have the goal. And then you'll get other people that don't know whether to celebrate. And then you get a celebration that then has this long pause. And I quite like the fact that players are now getting this habit of when they get the verdict from VAR, they're still going over and celebrating the goal properly again, almost, if they have to. Yeah, and that one, I think he did the 3 raised fingers of, say, 3 goals. Obviously, everyone he did his Sonny photograph celebration as well. And I noticed after the game as well, after that goal, he did smile. That was kind of when he first did a proper smile. And it was quite nice. You've seen the images of the whole team going around him as well and surrounding him. If there's anyone that has got all of his teammates behind him, it's Sonny. You know, they've got his back. They absolutely have. It was just a tough start to the season. That's all it was. And everyone goes through it.